What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunched Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Eddie Hearn. Get this. Eddie Hearn states that Tyson Fury could drop or vacate his WBC title. Eddie Hearn believes there's a chance that Tyson Fury will vacate his WBC heavyweight title rather than defend it against his mandatory. Okay. He also said this. Hearn says he's noticed that Fury and promoter don't speak about Whyte at all, and he feels that they could be thinking of vacating the WBC belt. With the money Fury can make fighting the Anthony Joshua versus Alexander Usyk winner, there's a very little incentive for him to face Whyte. That's a needless hurdle. While that should make Hearn happy because Whyte would be in a position to fight for the vacate and for the vacant WBC strap if he weren't elevated to full champion, he doesn't like that idea. He wants Whyte to fight Fury as he feels it would be a colossal mega fight in the UK. Whyte must fight Fury. If Whyte is elevated to the WBC champion outside of the ring, he'll be viewed as an email champion and will never be respected. Fury and his promoters at Top Rank haven't said that they plan on vacating the WBC title, but it looks like they're headed in that direction. Those are the words of Eddie Hearn. Smooth Eddie Hearn, always thinking, always trying to stay ahead, and he's doing a good job in that, you know. And if Dillian Whyte, and his belief is if Dillian Whyte gets that title by vacation, by Tyson Fury leaving it, Tyson Fury would then more than likely be perceived as the real champion. Just like he likes to think of himself as the lineal champ because he had the belts. He never lost them outside the ring. So how did he really lose them? He didn't lose them because he lost, and that's the only way you truly lose. And until that time, you're still considered that, this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what Eddie Hearn's saying. I know that's what he's saying. However, there's a flip side to that. The flip side is, for Eddie Hearn, he must realize this. It's who he fights for that title, okay? See, if he fights Deontay Wilder because he's #1, if Whyte fights Wilder for that belt, okay, that will also be a colossus fight in the Americas. Okay, that I don't see that being a UK fight at all. I see that being an American fight because Dillian Whyte, for one, said he wanted to fight in America. Okay, and then Dillian Whyte needs to make his name over here in America. And what's the biggest name to fight one of the biggest stars in the sport from America? And his name is Deontay Wilder. So I think if that's an email champion, you can't call both fighters email champion, especially if Whyte pulls it off. So if Whyte beats Wilder, he will be known to the guy that beat Wilder for the WBC strap because it was gifted to whoever wins. Counterpunch. Okay. But what also Eddie Hearn is talking about, and I want to mention this because people are like, well, that's not what he meant. Let me tell you what else he was referring to. He's worried about the big payday because there is a big incentive for that fight because Dillian Whyte and Tyson Fury, you know, would do big numbers. It's all about who you fight. It's all about your dancing partner, okay? And people talk about the dancing partner for Tyson Fury. Really, you really should be talking about the dancing partner to Dillian Whyte. Why? Because Dillian Whyte is a British champion and known commodity that has a high marquee value. Okay, he has the respect. He fills the seats. He gets it done. He makes millions of dollars per fight. He's not a freaking scrub like they're trying to portray him to be, and they know that. That's why they still want the fight, like I said in the earlier video. But at the end of the day, they don't want to pay for the fight. They don't want the guarantee because they know it's going to do huge numbers. But they don't want to give him the guarantee, to give him the satisfaction, because there's no guarantee. Who the hell wins that fight? You know, we are in the world of upsets. That's what makes boxing fair, because you have upsets. You don't have this set aside, made up, orchestrated shit all the time. You do have people that come in there ready to kick ass, and they do exactly that. And Dillian Whyte could do exactly what Kambosos did exactly what Alexander Usyk did, and many more other fighters did, okay? So he could follow that cab when he's fighting guys like that. And Eddie Hearn is wanting to put on that huge spectacle. Think of the buildup with Whyte and Fury. I'm not saying I don't want it. What I'm saying is I get why he wouldn't want it, but I also would agree and have no problem with Dillian Whyte being vacate or getting that belt and then fighting for that belt, the number one guy, which would be Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder at the time. Okay, so I understand both sides of what Eddie Hearn is saying, but he also has to understand there is plan B, C, D, E, like he said in that IFL TV interview. Bars. So he doesn't want Dillian Whyte to become like Devin Haney. I get it. Okay, but the only thing is, I don't think Deontay Wilder would pass up an opportunity to become a two-time WBC heavyweight champion. Okay, I don't see him doing that. But Eddie Hearn does want first to be first. But him thinking that he's going to vacate the belt, if he vacated the belt, I mean, that's no fault of Eddie Hearn. He can't dictate he can't tell Tyson Fury what to do. Tyson Fury does what he wants to do. Whatever his brain tells him to do at that time, he's going to do that. So if it's not fighting Dillian Whyte, I look at it in another way. If he didn't fight Dillian Whyte, you could always say he ducked Dillian Whyte and just vacated the belt in order to fight someone else. And it depends on who the hell else he fights. If he fights somebody like a Jermaine Franklin, somebody that we never heard of, okay, you won't think that badly about Dillian Whyte as compared to who he's going to fight. Bars. Okay, and if it's Deontay Wilder, that's a better opponent and that's a better fight. I would rather see Dillian Whyte versus Deontay Wilder than Tyson Fury versus somebody we never heard of, a Swartz or a damn Otto Wallin or somebody like that we didn't hear about or hear of at the time. Okay, so it's pros and cons to this, but I think at the end of the day, Eddie Hearn should wait, get the best fight for his fighter. But if Tyson Fury drops the belt, if that's what he decides to do, it'll show you his anticipation, and a lot of people could say that he ran from Dillian Whyte. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Eddie Hearn stating that he believes that Tyson Fury could vacate that WBC strap. Of course, please subscribe, and you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!